whatever you wind up doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people.
Whose car are we gonna take?
Did we all survive that massive storm? Thank you for joining us on the Nikki Medoro Show, where we talk about politics, pop culture, and all the nonsense in between, including the weather. So, Kim, I'm assuming you survived since you're here. I'm here. I see a lot of people in the comments. I'm so happy to see that people have power. You know what was the crappiest thing, though, that happened yesterday, last night, right before bed? I get an email from my daughter's school that says, there might not be school tomorrow if the power continues to stay out. There is no message that a child wants to hear more than there may not be school tomorrow.
Woohoo!
And so, of course, my daughter is just, there's not going to be school tomorrow. And I'm like, there's going to be school tomorrow. Don't get it in your head. So, of course, she woke up all pissed off this morning that there was school. I was like, damn it. They should just send it privately to parents and not to all the kids. But, yeah, there was definitely school. But
I got the opposite message. It said,
You're
all
coming no matter
Petaluma
what.
City schools have power, and there will be school tomorrow. Yeah.
But taking my daughter to school this morning, I mean, all the lights were still out. So that's why a lot of people were thinking there's not going to be school. And I'm telling you, people, you just don't know how to drive when the street lights are out. Oh, it's so frustrating because people just have no idea that you treat it as a four-way stop. They completely forget how that exactly works. So be careful. I didn't leave the house yesterday. My husband tried to drag me to a birthday party for one of his friends. I was like, I'm not going. You can, and he took our daughter. And she's like, it was so like not what anybody wants to do. Everyone wants to cuddle on the couch. And that's it. That's all you want to do. So I'm going to have some videos, some pictures. Oh, and I'm going to download a video as well that my husband sent me of the Guadalupe River because that was just roaring yesterday as well.
They were doing evacuations right there yesterday.
Exactly.
I was assuming it was of the homeless people by the river.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and they declared a state of emergency. There was a tornado risk, a warning, first ever hurricane force wind warning for the California coast. There was wind gusts of more than 90 miles per hour. San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, that was Sunday. That was Monterey, Santa Cruz, Santa Clara, and San Mateo counties actually all had it. By noon, it was expanded to include San Francisco and Marin. I mean, and then the images that you're just seeing are crazy. Let me just show you one quick video. And I mean, the problem is these friggin' trees. Look at this video. Look at that tree on that house. Wow. It is just, and apparently somebody had been sleeping just inches away. This fell around 7:30 yesterday morning. I mean, look at the damage. Look at the trees just being completely uprooted.
Man.
That's nuts. I mean, and these, the ground is soaked. These trees have to have something to hold on to. So you were telling me before the show that there was a tree at a park, right, by your house?
Oh, huge tree, big old redwood tree, right by the tennis courts at McNair Park came down. Yeah, and it took it was just like that with the bringing up the land and the earth with it.
Right.
And you can see the edge of the foundation of the tennis courts and the big water line running underneath it.
Yeah. It was crazy. So Saturday night I go to bed and I wake up on Sunday and I look over at my old school alarm clock. And it says 12:35. Now, I like to sleep, but there's no way. I was like, it's 12:30. And then, of course, I realized, oh, no, the power went out. And then, obviously, the clock started again. But it flickered on and off. It was so frustrating. I'm trying to work. The Wi-Fi keeps going out because anytime there's like a surge, it kicks it off. So it was a big old pain in the butt yesterday. I did, though, get power enough to watch the Grammys, which we will discuss a little bit later on in the show. Did you watch the Grammys at all?
I watched highlights of the Grammys, but not the Grammys.
I will say I thought it was very good. I
Really?
enjoyed it immensely. Billy Joel came out with a new song that I really, really
I
liked.
heard the song. I like it. It's not his best work, but I
Of
like it.
course not. But the fact that I mean, 30 years, more than 30 years since this guy has written a new song. And yeah, he's come out with, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. So if anybody watched the Grammys, we'll touch on that just a little bit. Of course, we'll have more Storm stuff. The Niners are officially in Vegas. I was going to go, but yesterday was just, they kept telling me stay home. I was like, you don't tell me twice. So let's get some business out of the way, though. You guys, please click the thumbs up button, show your support for the show. The super chat is also live, and we depend on every donation from all of you viewers and listeners to keep the show going. So please consider donating to our Patreon. You just go to the NikkiMedoroShow.com, the NikkiMedoroShow.com. The Patreon link is there. And we appreciate you guys. I mean, I love waking up and seeing so many of you guys already in the comments. And we love being here for you and having conversations about all sorts of things that are happening every single day. And we appreciate you and we love you guys. And we just need more donations to the show. So if you can, and if you already subscribe, if you can afford a little bit more, we really do appreciate it. Kathy, thank you so much, Kathy, for emailing me yesterday. I don't know, maybe I've just missed the button because I don't use PayPal that much. But apparently you can set up a monthly PayPal donation. Mm-hmm. So go to paypal.com, hit the send button. I guess it's called recurring. And just put in the email address, the NikkiMedoroShow@gmail.com. And you can donate monthly that way as well if you don't want to set up a Patreon. And you guys, we really do love you guys and appreciate you guys so, so much, each and every one of you that donate to the storm. So thank you guys. Love you. Let's do some more headlines because I'm sure that Kim's going to be focusing on the storm a lot. I have also some videos that I'll throw in as well. There are things that are just being canceled. Not school, not my kids' school, not kids' school, but there's a lot of things that have been canceled today. So if you have any updates, throw it in the comments and we'll get it out there as well. All right, let's talk some headlines with Kim.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Republicans are lining up in opposition to the Senate's bipartisan border security and foreign aid package that was unveiled over the weekend. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the legislation won't come close to ending what he called the border catastrophe. He said the bill will be dead on arrival in the House if it makes it out of the Senate. Wonder why?
I don't know. And again, they are not giving up. I mean, impeaching Mayorkas under the guise of he's not doing anything at the border. And then you have, now, is everything perfect? Do you wish that there was an actual physical door and a doorbell at our border, right? That you could dictate who comes in and out? Of course. But let's be realistic, Republicans. Let's honestly be. And I really do feel like this bipartisan bill is a good compromise, but they're not going to give Biden anything this year. Nothing.
As you mentioned, millions of Californians are under the threat of potential deadly flooding. A high risk of excessive rainfall issued by the Weather Prediction Center for more than 14 million people in Southern California today. The National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning this morning for the areas including the Hollywood Hills, Malibu, and Beverly Hills. So we're a little more used to getting hit with a lot of rain, especially here in the North Bay. They're a little more delicate in Southern California. They don't like to get all these big old storms.
Well, and they have the hills, you know what I mean? So like the mudslides and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it hasn't stopped. That's the problem, is that they're not getting any sort of, break from the rain to like let the rain absorb and all that. It just keeps going and going. And it's going to go all day today. And that's frightening. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Yesterday and today were supposed to be the worst days.
Yeah.
So this is the worst of it that we're seeing right now. And it's, again, everyone, today is not going to let up either. So
exactly.
As far as what we're going to see, forecasters are saying what we saw yesterday, more of it today. So get ready. Here it comes.
Exactly.
Woo!
Exactly.
It's just another one of those bundle up days,
It's one of those, stay inside, get a hot cocoa, a nice warm cup of coffee, and try to stay off the roadways. Because, again, there's so many tree limbs and all the palm fronds, and then the PG&E workers are out there. And so it's just a mess. If you don't have to drive or go out there, just don't. It's not worth it. I'm telling you. It's terrible.
Yeah, no, we don't want the palm fronds to hit us. That's, I mean, no way,
I'm
man.
telling you, they can be dangerous. If you're walking, those things are like, I'm not kidding. That's not a joke. I know somebody that got a palm frond through his toe.
Oh God,
I mean,
really?
he kind of stepped on it. It wasn't weather related, but those things are
Yikes.
friggin' sharp. If you think that they're all delicate, pretty things, no, they are flying hazards. So just be careful.
Wow, I have a lot of palm trees in my backyard.
Be
So
careful.
Oh. I have a picture here I'm trying to show you of,
Oh, there
President
you go.
Biden and
Jeez.
Trumpy. And so new polling data shows that President Biden trails the Republican presidential frontrunner, Donald Trump, on major policy, economic, and personal comparisons. That according to a new poll from NBC News. This poll shows Trump gets support from 47% of registered voters in a hypothetical 2024 presidential rematch versus 42% who backed President Biden.
Fabulous.
Now,
Jesus.
polls, you never know who's asked.
I don't like polls. I'm not paying attention to polls at all.
But it's very similar to numbers from a CNN poll done just a couple days ago that showed Trump ahead 49, I think, to 45%. This one is 47 to 42%. So Biden seems to be in the most recent polls trailing by just a bit here.
Yeah, and we always knew it was going to be close. And again, polls are not votes. It's just not there. It is just not. You have to, understand that people go out, they get, enraged that Trump could possibly be elected again. You can't underestimate the voter who doesn't respond to polls. I don't know. I mean, they've been wrong before, right? Hillary Clinton was supposed to be our president. So let's just not even put any stock into them at all.
That was a case in point of the poll that went wrong. So,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
And plus, anything could happen between now and then, right? We still have our October surprise to contend with. You never know.
And he's facing all these charges.
Yeah.
Like, let's just keep it, yeah.
Yeah, he does have the charges to contend with, although, there's questions now of what's going to happen in Georgia.
Right.
So, and that was the one where he would not have been able to pardon himself, right?
Right. The state charges, yeah.
Did you hear about all these forest fires happening in Chile?
No.
Yeah, it's a big, big deal. It looks kind of like a scene from Northern California here. But authorities in Chile say at least 112 people have been killed by wildfires that are raging there. The country's National Disaster Response Service said there were more than 160 active fires burning throughout the country. Most of these are under control. Firefighters are still working to contain about 40 of them. It's feared this death toll will likely keep rising in Chile.
Oh, that's awful.
Really horrible. McDonald's says tensions in the Middle East is hurting business. Oh no, God forbid you sell fewer burgers. The fast food giant reported growing overall sales and earnings in its fourth quarter, but said the issues in the Middle East are really still looming over this region. Switch pictures here. In the fourth quarter, they said the issues in the Middle East are hurting them. McDonald's mostly licenses its brand to independent companies in the Middle East, which doesn't make up a large part of the company's overall business, but still they say they're feeling it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, here it is, Nikki Medoro. Super Bowl week is here.
Yeah, buddy.
It's funny, I was our friend and former coworker Kim Schaffer had posted something pretty funny. She was I think house sitting at a place where the power went out.
Yep.
And she was showing on the stove her making some tomato soup.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I was going to watch the Grammys, but now I can't. But if this had happened on Super Bowl weekend, heads would roll.
It's supposed to be nice next weekend. So that's awesome. You know what I mean? So I keep looking at the weather. I mean, not that it's here. It doesn't matter. It's in Vegas, right? Yeah. But still, it's for people that want to watch the game. You don't want to worry that your power is going to go out, when you're watching. Can you imagine? And now, with so many people's television tied to their Wi-Fi and their internet connection, things like that. Oh, can you imagine the uproar? Imagine the uproar. It could be bad. So fingers crossed there's no hiccups.
There were 400,000 PG&E customers in the Bay Area without power.
No,
the number is down to 200,000 today. Wow. But 400,000 people in the Bay Area without power on Super Bowl Sunday when the 49ers are in the Super Bowl.
I'd be so mad. I want to show something real quickly. So yesterday, I really did want to go. And there were a bunch of people that went to Levi's Stadium. They were leaving at 3:30 to go send them off. it was so stormy and so windy. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it. And I'm a huge Niner fan, but I'm like, I'm not doing it. But then there were a bunch of people, look at this, that waited in Vegas. So here's the video to cheer them on arriving. So here they are going to so they're off the strip. The Niners and the Chiefs are not staying on the strip. They're like taking them away. But yeah, so this is them welcoming them in. I'm like, yay, so exciting. That's awesome. There's Kyle Shanahan right in the front. So yeah, so the fans are out there. Now that's going to be a fun time. That's really, really going to be a fun time. So
that's kind of cool to have them feel welcomed and loved as they roll in, you know?
Well, yeah, I remember I got a Facebook memory from the last time that they were in the Super Bowl. And they had come back in and people were all out there and they had just kind of gone in and didn't like stop with the fans, and a bunch of fans, including myself, was kind of bummed. I'm like, oh, you should go and say hi, but it's hard. You know what I mean? It's really, really hard when you come back and you don't win. So let's hope this time it's different and it's a win. We're hoping.
Did you hear that Levi's, we know that they're paying the 49ers in Santa Clara $170 million to extend the naming rights.
Right.
And remember, that news came out just as they fired a bunch of people at Levi's.
Right.
However, part of this deal is they're making the signs just a little bit bigger.
Oh,
Did you
really?
see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they and it's interesting because according to the graphic or the rendering I'm looking at, it doesn't look like it's that much bigger, but they're going to take $3 million, the city of Santa Clara, and they're going to make the signs just a touch bigger on the either end of the stadium and on the two signs that are outside the stadium. So here's what it looks like. Here's on the left, you can see what it looks like now. On the right, just a little bigger. Yeah, $3 million. $3 million bigger.
That's why. I think that's a waste of money, but okay. I guess they have to spend. It seems like, at the end of the year when companies just try to spend their budgets, because then they have to set the budgets, and if you don't spend it, you're not going to get as much. I'm sensing it's something like that. Like, we have to spend it. We have to do something, because that doesn't seem. There are so many other things you could do with that money.
Did you not feel like there was adequate signage on Levi's Stadium?
I mean, I feel like you could totally do that. I mean, I totally other things you could do than the sign. The sign is totally noticeable.
I've only been there once for the Taylor Swift concert.
Right. No, it's cute.
When I drove up, it was Levi's Stadium, and you could see it from a mile away. So I don't know.
I would spend money on more decoration. If that, maybe that's not the right word, but there's not a lot of history yet at Levi's.
Right.
So, just kind of it seems a little cold. I will tell you this. If you've ever gone inside Levi's, and I know that you were just parked outside, I mean, there's some stuff, but I would just dress the place up a little more, but I have no idea what that costs. So maybe this was.
You mean like what they did at the Giants ballpark?
Kind of. I mean, more stuff to look at, and I don't know. It's very metallic inside. So I don't know. But I don't know how much all that costs. So maybe this was the cheapest thing to say that they did something, and that's all they could afford.
Well, as part of this contract, this $170 million big deal, the Santa Clara Stadium Authority is spending about $3 million to increase the size of the 4 Levi's signs around the stadium, 2 facing outward and 2 on top of each end zone video board. The signs have to be upgraded on or before December 31st of 2025. That is a date that is specifically chosen to get the larger signs in place before Levi's Stadium hosts 2 international events in 2026. Super Bowl 60 in February and the FIFA Men's World Cup in the summer. They want it all done before then.
Exactly. And again, the World Cup's coming, although the men's are not playing in Levi's. I think that the U.S. men isn't playing until LA. So we're not even going to get kind of the home country team playing at Levi's. But it's still, you're on international display. So I get maybe, but I still think $3 million for a slightly bigger sign is a bit of waste of money.
And slightly is really the key here. So that is the sign over the scoreboard. Check out the other two, what the rendering is of the other two. I mean, it's really not that much bigger.
I will say this though, when you compare it like this, I do see a difference. This I understand. That the other one on the left, I could see being a bit of a distance away and you can't really see it. So like for instance, some stadiums, the name of their stadium is, I would say, 5 times as big as the new and improved one. I mean, it's gigantic. So I could see how some people might look at other stadiums and then look at Levi's and be like, why is the sign so small? And if there's anything, especially in a male-dominated sports where you're talking about size, I'm sure they're like, get it bigger, make it bigger. So,
So according to SF Gate, the sign facing outward to the west on the luxury suite tower will be about 20 to 25% larger.
Yeah.
And the sign facing east toward the Santa Clara Youth Soccer Park will grow by about 30 to 35%.
I mean, I think you want it to be something where no matter if you're on the freeway driving by it, you can see it and it's gigantic. So I will say the side, this picture there, I get this one. The one on the left is kind of small when you compare it to the other one. I mean, even from
but it's
distance,
not that different.
It's not that different. I would have made it even bigger. I would have made it even bigger.
Exactly. If you're going to spend the money on a one-time deal for the next 10 years or whatever to make it bigger, then let's make it bigger. Here's another shot on the outside.
I mean, I would have made it even bigger.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to see. The problem is you can only make it that big or you start going into the SF logo on the bottom. And so I could see they're like, it's kind of like a Word document.
Right.
They're like, oh, it's already, it's encroaching. It's encroaching. So to use a football term. Yeah, I could see that that's as big as it can get. Yeah, they didn't exactly, Karen. Why weren't they designed properly in the first place?
Thank you.
I agree. Now, here's just since we're talking about the football. So if you can't obviously make it to Levi's, which I don't know anyone that's going. If any of you are going, you better let me know. There is going to be a watch party. It's in San Francisco at Thrive City in the Mission Bay neighborhood. That's usually where the Warriors, like if you can't, if it's an away game, you could watch it from there. So tickets go on sale Thursday. I'm kind of bummed that there isn't something at Levi's, at least that I haven't heard of, for a watch party, because that's kind of fun. Although you can't necessarily see the jumbotrons probably properly from every seat. I mean, maybe you can. It wouldn't be the best shot. But yeah, I'm watching it at home, obviously. But yeah, they're going to sell tickets on Thursday to the watch party in San Francisco, Mission Bay. And then the parade, if it happens, also going to be in San Francisco on Valentine's Day is what I believe it's going to be. So fingers crossed that it happens. And then I have one more story about the Niners. Did you see this? So I'm going to play you this thing. Now this is a really funny. Will you take that picture down real quickly? Now I would do something like this. This is actually pretty cool. Look at what this wedding did. Hold on. I want the volume all the way up and play.
Wedding this past September could have a super payoff for all the guests that showed up. They gave out a gift that shows how faithful they are to the 49ers. ABC 7 News reporter Lauren Martinez tells us it all hinges on the outcome of the Super Bowl.
Not many people can say they make money from attending a wedding.
You bet on us, so we placed a bet for you.
On September 9th, Jessica and Matt Grime said their I-do's in South Lake Tahoe. Tucked in each of their guest napkins was a sports bet. The 49ers win Super Bowl 58.
This has been a great way to still feel that excitement for what we just had together, a big celebration for our love. So it's just been really fun to keep that momentum going.
The couple wanted to show their love for the Niners and integrate Tahoe casinos in a memorable way.
I just know as an event planner that favors are something that are special to give out, but also they are the ones that are the first to either be left at the table or to not be really thought of after the event.
The couple bought $2 bets for each of their 180 guests. If the 49ers take the Vince Lombardi trophy home, each winning ticket can be cashed in for just under $20.
Depends how many favors they took off of other people's places.
I love that.
Places. So, like, I know one of my cousins said he left with 12.
Even friends and family from Michigan are hoping these favors pay off.
You feel their excitement. They call, they text, they They're just like, oh my God, can you believe it's actually going to happen? It's fun to, after months after the wedding, to still be able to enjoy the wedding.
On the back of each favor, a message says, "We hope you get as lucky as us. Forever faithful."
I love it. I mean,
That's
that is
cute.
really, really cute. And I love the fact that she said, people were snatching the ones that people left behind. I would be leaving that
course.
behind. I mean, because you get all of that money. So
You would have been the one going around like, oh, they're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to take all of these.
Yeah, you don't want your favor. You don't want your favor. Like, make all the drunk people leave and take all of their favors. But yeah, I thought that was a genius.
That's
genius
funny.
idea.
What a great idea.
I know. And it was
Love
$2 a favor, which, sometimes people spend way too much money on wedding favors. We didn't. We just our name, like the name seating table thing, was a candle, and that just had their name on it, and they could take it home if they wanted to. We didn't do. I was very economical. Like, you shouldn't be surprised with my wedding. So.
It's true. I
Favors
did
are
a
nothing.
destination wedding in Maui, and I had little bottles of pineapple wine with a little label that
Ooh,
was.
see, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right. Well, I love that idea, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that bet pays off.
Today, or opening night, is on Monday in Las Vegas, where the Niners, of course, and the Chiefs will speak to the media. So we'll get to hear from a lot of the players. Players and coaches will make their only public appearance before taking the field for Super Bowl 58 at Allegiant Stadium on Sunday.
Allegiant Stadium. It's a stadium that looks like a toilet bowl. I mean, if you
Does
want
it
to talk,
really?
oh God, it totally does. It looks like a toilet bowl, and it's the Raiders, so I always make fun of it. I mean, it's black. It's okay. I just don't think it's the most attractive stadium. But again, talking about Levi's, I don't think Levi's is the most attractive stadium either. Like, don't think that I'm, using my fandom. I think Levi's could have been just done way better. They didn't design it well. It's not positioned well. It is what it is. It's not going to change. You can bitch and moan all you want to, but it's staying where it's at. But yeah, they could have done a much better job designing.
I thought
that
they had a great parking situation.
No, their parking situation sucks, Kim, because it doesn't allow for traditional, like, everybody tailgating in one spot. So you
That's
can tailgate
true.
if you're in some parking spots, parking lots green or yellow or whatever.
Right.
That's BS. Candlestick had the best. It just wrapped around
Everybody
the
at
whole entire
once,
thing.
yeah.
And that's what you want. So
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I still don't like it. But again,
Have you
it is what it is.
seen all the little every time your team is in the Super Bowl or the playoffs or whatever, Warriors win or whatever have you,
right?
These little tents pop up at gas stations selling T-shirts.
Oh, the merch. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They're everywhere.
That's a hustle
I'm
right
sure
there.
they're everywhere there, but they're all over the place
Yes.
here in the North Bay as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, and some people will like purposely just buy from there so they have something. And if you take care of it, the problem with those, of course, is that if you don't wash it, it'll fade and it'll do all those things. But if you can't afford, $100 or more for merch inside, it can give you a little bit of a memorabilia from your time there.
So I had to go to Dick's Sporting Goods over the weekend to buy new basketball shoes.
Okay. For your son, I'm assuming, yes.
Yeah, Jacob's feet grow so fast that the ones from last year don't fit this year. So
that's hard.
he wears a size 9 men's. He has
a bigger foot than I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he'll be 10 this month. So I'm just saying, like, this kid is big, right?
Yeah.
And
how tall is he?
Oh, not as tall as me. I want to say, like, I don't know, 5'3", maybe.
So he's bigger than me too. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Don't make me stand next to your son. Then I'm gonna feel so tiny.
And he's not even 10. I know.
I know.
It's
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying. That's crazy. How tall is your husband?
5'11". He's almost 6 feet.
Okay.
My dad is 6 feet. And so, but the doctor says that Jacob will probably end up being like 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, wow.
And we're like, who? So my grandfather on my mom's side was very tall, as is my uncle. So that's the only thing I can think of is where he's getting the height.
Yeah.
Either that or a total mistake in the lab. I don't know.
Yeah.
But wow, this kid is growing. Anyways,
okay.
So I had to go buy the shoes.
Uh-huh.
And they have a 49ers table right when you walk in.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that might be nice to have for posterity. So we're looking at them, and they don't have any prices on them yet. And I ask, what the price is. And they said, oh, these are about $50. These will be $50. The long sleeve will be 50 something.
That's not too bad, actually.
I thought that was crazy expensive for a t-shirt. $50 for a t-shirt.
If it's verified apparel? Is it?
It had the little hologram sticker on it.
And that's actually not a bad price. It's not that bad of a price. I know.
I left it on the table. I was like, I'm not spending that money.
$50 isn't that bad, in all honesty. It's not. I mean, if you start getting up to the 80, 90, 100, and then I'm like, yeah, no, I'm out. But $50 isn't too bad.
Lastly.
Oh, yeah.
Tay-Tay. Woohoo. Taylor Swift is a winner again. She now holds the record for the most album of the year wins after taking home the award for a fourth time last night at the Grammys. So it's her fourth album of the year. Miley Cyrus nabbed her first ever Grammy award for Record of the Year and Best Pop Solo Performance for her hit single Flowers. Billie Eilish and Phineas, her brother, took home Song of the Year for What Was I Made For from the Barbie soundtrack. But overall, Taylor Swift, it was a big night for her. And she announced a new album.
Yes.
So,
chairman of the Poets Department or something like that. I forget the name of it. Hold on. Let me get it. Let me do it right.
The Tortured Poets Department, I think.
And you know what? I will say this. Friggin' genius. Yeah, the Tortured Poets Department. That's what it's called. Genius. She wins her 13th Grammy, which is her favorite number is 13. She goes up there and she's like, I want to let you in on a secret that we've been keeping for the past 2 years. I have a new album, April 19th, I think she said. And she gave the album name. And I was like, dude, like who uses their Grammy speech to advertise the marketing that genius that Taylor Swift is?
Isn't it good?
And then she won album of the year after that. So I think she won Best Pop. And then she won album of the year. I think those were the two that she won. And then she gave a much longer speech when she won album of the year. There was a lot of things. We'll talk about the Grammys later, but I enjoyed it immensely. If anybody watched it, when we discussed it, you let me know what you liked and what you didn't like, because I couldn't find much that I didn't like. And that's surprising to me. I do think that some of the performances kind of went on a little bit long. And there weren't a lot of awards given out. But that's why I watch it too, is because sometimes I just want to see somebody perform. But
I didn't see who her date was.
She didn't bring a date.
Oh,
her mom was there. I mean, her mom was with her, and then she sat with like Lana Del Rey. But no, she didn't bring like a date. I think her and Lana Del Rey though went together, and my daughter loves Lana Del Rey, who I do too. And so I thought it was a really good Grammy show. And we'll get into some of your guys' comments in a little bit, including Jay-Z's speech, which again, award ceremony is very subjective, which he admitted, but I don't know how I'd feel if I was Beyonce after hearing that, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know, but congratulations to her. That's setting a record.
Exactly.
That's pretty good. This report is sponsored by you, and we rely on you to keep the Nikki Medoro show rolling like the finely tuned engine that it is, going uphill in the rain. The website is thenikkimedoroshow.com, thenikkimedoroshow.com. The Patreon link lives there, as does the PayPal link. It's all there for you. And of course, the super chats and the super stickers are live here on YouTube, and we appreciate all you can do. As a matter of fact, Eileen!
Yes.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Eileen.
It was a dark and stormy night. Yes, it was. Thank you for the 20. And Karen Kleiner, thank you also for the 20. Oh, you like the fast car.
Yes.
Did you see that? A lot of people were saying that was amazing.
Oh my God. I mean, I will say this, and maybe we'll just, you know what, we'll just talk about all this stuff coming up in a moment. But Tracy Chapman, I swear to God, she doesn't miss a beat. I mean, literally such a great voice. And then Joni Mitchell, I was trying to explain to my daughter who the hell Joni Mitchell was, and my daughter was not feeling it. But God, just the emotion of watching Joni Mitchell for so many people that know who she is and know her music was really, really great. I will say Dua Lipa went on. She was the first act. She went on a little long. But again, Billy Joel blew me away with his new song. I liked it a lot. I really, really did. And I like Billy Joel, so I thought it was really, really
You're
good.
like, shut up, Dua Lipa.
I'm surprised that Taylor didn't perform.
Yeah.
But I think she's just kind of tired, probably. She's like, I don't want to perform.
She's like, I'm in the middle of the Eras tour.
Exactly.
If you want a performance, then go buy a ticket.
Exactly. All right.
And that is the way it goes. But yeah, a lot of people are talking about that Tracy Chapman performance. Who's the country artist that she was on stage with?
Luke Combs. Combs. And he was really good, but he didn't, what I like about his take? It's very much like the original, right? I mean, he didn't take too many liberties with changing the song. And not only that, like, I remember my friend Angel, who ended up being the maid of honor in my wedding. I remember in high school, she's the one that turned me on to Tracy Chapman. And it started with Fast Car. And I was like, who is this? And she's just amazing. Now, again, history is being made because Luke Combs re-recorded it. I mean, Tracy Chapman's making tons of money now off of this and awards. I mean, I think she won her first country music award because he did, right? And she gets the credit like for the writing of the song. So yeah, it was a really, really good show. Now, let me say this. The Jay-Z speech, and I don't have the video of it up, but basically what he brought his daughter up, which I thought was really, really cute. He brought Blue up, and you could tell that Blue was like, what? I'm going to go with you. She looked like she was so nervous up there. And he won the Dr. Dre award. And, he gave props to Dr. Dre and all sorts of things. And then he was basically talking about the fact that, these things are subjective. He said something to the effect of, some of you feel like you were robbed tonight of the award. Some of you will be robbed. He's like, and some of you shouldn't even be in the category. And then he said, and I apologize for embarrassing this young lady, talking about Beyonce, who was in the audience. He's like, but imagine winning the most Grammy awards ever and never winning Album of the Year. There they are. And he's like, how does that work? He's like, and I know it's subjective, but how is that possible? And I can understand that it's a sore subject for Beyonce to never win that award. I don't know, man. And then on the same night, have Taylor Swift break the record for the most number of Album of the Year awards. Look, it's one of those things where to win Album of the Year, I don't know what the rules are, but it has to appeal to everybody that's voting for it. And sometimes you have a good album that other people like, but that all the judges don't. So I don't know if it was necessarily fair, right? That he was calling out, and I would say, once again, speaking for Beyonce, right? Kanye West did it with Taylor Swift infamously. Now Jay-Z is doing it for Beyonce. And it kind of gets under my skin. Look, if she wants to say something about it, let her say something about it. But for men to go up there and think that they need to, I don't know, save her or say something on her behalf.
Right.
I don't know Beyonce as a woman that doesn't speak her mind. If she wants to say something on it, let her say something on it. If not, you don't need to speak for her. I don't know. Am I like getting a little too defensive about it? I just feel like it wasn't necessary. And I don't think, Susan, it's greedy. I think it's just one of those things where it's the top prize, and to never get it, it has to be like that itch that you have to scratch. You know what I mean? And she just doesn't think about it. Yeah. I don't think that Beyonce liked it either. I mean, I'm sure she seems to look at Jay-Z like, oh, how sweet. Thank you. But once again, did he ask her? Like, did he say, hey, I'm going to say something, and give her any sort of agency over using her lack of winning that award as a platform for his speech? I don't know. I just, it rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, great. Another guy saying that Beyonce is great. And I don't think that she needed him to do that. I really, really don't. But unfortunately he felt the need to do it, and it is what it is. And it's not like she could change it, but yeah. So let's go over some of the winners. Miley Cyrus won for Flowers. Did you notice that she didn't thank her father, Billy Ray Cyrus, in her acceptance speech? She won 2 Grammys last night. She didn't mention her dad. A lot of people were noticing that. I was like, okay, whatever.
That was some dress. Whew.
That was some dress, and the hair. And also, okay, if I could be a little snarky right now, which I will be. I don't think she needs backup singers. She needed something when she was performing Flowers. She performed it right after she won her first Grammy.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of, I feel like, was trying to channel a little bit of Tina Turner, which Fantasia Barrino, who was on American Idol, she's also in the movie Color Purple. She did a tribute to Tina Turner. But Miley Cyrus was trying to do the whole holding the microphone, there's the dress, and that hair, which was, country big rock star hair. It was fine. But yeah, I just feel like she seemed a little stiff when she was dancing to Flowers, which was a little odd. I would think she grew up performing. She needed backup singers. I don't know. Karen thinks she looks a little bit like Jane Fonda.
I thought the exact same thing.
Really? I didn't see that at all, but now that you mention it a little bit.
Total Jane Fonda. And
a little bit.
It's the hair, the face, like the coloring, everything.
Yeah, exactly. So she won she won 2 for Flowers. Billie Eilish. Now, I don't know how many people saw Billie Eilish's performance of What Was I Made For. She also won for that song along with her brother Phineas. A lot of people were criticizing it because she kept going back and forth between whispering singing and truly singing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of liked it. It was a little odd, but
that's kind of her shtick, though, right?
A little bit, but
She
if you
has
listen to
that
the
soft,
song, she
breathy,
sings the whole song, I feel like, in a real voice. I felt like she was overly whispering last night. And then I'm trying to like infuse some sort of meaning behind the lyrics of when she's whispering and when she's not whispering. I felt like when she was, feeling like showing true emotion, she sang with her real voice, and when she was kind of questioning, she was whispering. But I don't know, it was an okay performance. I really like that song, so I was really happy to hear it. Let's see what else. And then of course Taylor winning for Midnights. She had to have won. I mean, I just feel like there wasn't an album that that wasn't more talked about than that. Yeah, there's Billie Eilish, and then she took her sunglasses off. I like her. I do. She's young. I know she's not everybody's cup of tea. I was reading some criticisms on social media while she was performing, but I thought that she did a really good job. So, and again, the In Memoriam also, I think, and this might be mean, the music choice, very upbeat kind of stuff. Like Stevie Wonder did a tribute to, and I'm literally am blanking on his name right now. I left my heart in San Francisco.
Tony Bennett.
Thank you. Tony Bennett did a whole tribute to Tony Bennett. There was a tribute to Tina Turner. But some of it was like really upbeat music, which was crazy. Taylor Swift looked amazing in that dress. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So I thought it was a good show.
Celine Dion presented her
yes.
award, and it was cool that Celine Dion was able to get up on stage and do that. Not sing, but at least be there and present the award.
Yeah.
I guess they both had these kinds of dresses that had the thigh-high slit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Celine Dion, again, she has like this paralysis, something going on where she can't sing. Oh, yeah. And there was also for Jimmy Buffett as well. Yes, you're right. Mm-hmm. Annie Lennox was really good. Another person I had to explain to my daughter who that was. And that's what I kind of like about the Grammys is they bring the old and the new together, which I thought was really great. I will say, and maybe you guys disagree, this was one of the better Grammy shows. Absolutely. And no, I think Karen writes, I'm surprised that no one said anything about what's going on in the Middle East. I expected the usual celebrity babble. I thought it was Annie Lennox that said something about it.
No.
Was it not?
No, I'll look it up. But there was someone who used their speech to say that.
Well, it wasn't a speech. I think after Annie Lennox sang and everyone was clapping, I feel maybe I'm wrong that it was her. Sinead O'Connor was really great. The dedication by Annie Lennox, Sinead O'Connor sang that song, Nothing Compares to You, which was really, really good. But yeah, I feel like something was said, but not during the speeches. The speeches I feel like were pretty good. One woman who I'm blanking, who was it? Was it the best new artist?
Victoria Monet.
Yeah, she went a bit long. They played her off. I think she was the only one that was played off. And she's like, oh, they're playing me off. Yeah, it was best new artist. Let's wrap it up here. nobody else took that long. I mean, maybe Taylor did at the end, but yeah. Yeah, Nothing Compared to You was written by Prince, but Sinead O'Connor obviously sang it, and Annie Lennox did a tribute to her passing by singing that song. So yeah, it was good. If you have Hulu or whatever, you could probably watch it again. I thought it was a great show. And so yeah, that's the Grammys. Real quickly, also because we were talking about the Niners and the Super Bowl, President Joe Biden is not going to once again give a presidential interview before the Super Bowl. Apparently, this is a tradition. He didn't do it last year because there were Fox anchors. We don't know, and people are saying that that's why he didn't do it. We don't know why he's not doing it this year. I can only imagine it's a presidential year. I don't know if it serves you or not to give the interview, but at the same time, you're going to have a captive audience. Wouldn't you think that he would want to give the speech or give the interview at a time when most people are going to have their TV on, whether you like it or not, type of thing? I think it's a missed opportunity for the president to not give the speech
in an election year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Trump's not going to get that unless, I mean, he might try to sneak something on before the Super Bowl or after. But yeah, for the second year in a row, he's not going to do it. I just, obviously what's happening in Ukraine, in the Middle East, and along the border, maybe he doesn't want to be asked that. Maybe it's because they still don't know who's going to be doing the interview. At least what I was reading, they don't, at least this article that I'm reading doesn't specify who is going to be conducting the interview. And so maybe he just doesn't even want to risk it. But yeah, I think that's a bad move. I really do. I think that he should do it. Somebody else that's not going to be possibly watching, I don't know, the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes' father. Did you see this?
Ouch. This is bad.
He got arrested again. He's been released, but he got arrested for driving while intoxicated for the third time. That's somebody that has an alcohol problem. If you have 3 DUIs, and they're not back to back to back, but I mean, he was arrested in 2019 for DUI, and he was also arrested again another time. So this is the third time. People are like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is going to be distracted because his dad's not there. I highly doubt that. The guy deals with distractions all the time, but that has to suck.
It's something else on your mind, though.
It's just a bad headlines on a week that you don't want to be focusing on anything else. You know what I mean? Like you just don't want to. And plus, I don't know. My heart goes out to both Patrick Mahomes and his dad, Patrick Mahomes. It's senior and junior. So, it has to be hard when your parents are obviously dealing with some sort of addiction 3 times. That's a cry for you need to get yourself into some sort of rehab or something. You shouldn't be driving anymore. And, maybe there's no excuse for driving under the influence, especially when you have money. Like, get a driver, get an Uber, get a Lyft, like get something. I don't understand people, especially people with money.
Patrick Mahomes is probably saying, Dad, there will be a driver now. From now on, you're going to have a driver. Here's this driver. Here's the name of the person. Anytime you need a lift, they're 20 minutes away. You call them, or maybe a staff member. But when you have that much money, a driver, got to do it.
And I just, and again, you don't like to see something like that happen. Thank God nobody was hurt. But the fact that this is his third time just speaks volumes to, whatever issue that he's going through right now. So that sucks. All right. Okay. So that's done with the Super Bowl, with the Grammys. Let's move on. Did you hear this? This story came out on Friday. And so, but after our show on Friday, did you hear about this Texas mother? Now, we've been talking a lot about Oakland. Burger Road is just losing businesses after businesses after business. In and out Denny's. Now there's this pizza shop that I guess has been hit 4 times that are thinking about it. So apparently this mom says her son and some friends were robbed at a gas station on Hagenberger Road near the Oakland airport. They're from Texas though. So they were filling up their rental vehicle. Yeah. And let me tell you a little bit of this report from ABC7, because again, it's a story that we keep hearing. Right? Yeah. We keep hearing this story about don't go on Hagenberger Road. But when a crime does happen, and especially when you're not from the area, listen to this.
Her son and some friends were robbed at a gas station as they filled up their rental vehicle. It happened in an area that's received a lot of publicity recently, with In-N-Out and Denny's announcing they were closing because of crime concerns. ABC 7 News reporter Tara Campbell has reaction from the victim's mother.
I'm offering a $10,000 reward for any tips that lead to the arrest of the people who violently robbed my son and his friends.
Maxie Scher is talking about this incident Monday at the 76 gas station on Hagenberger Road near the Oakland airport, offering up a reward to help identify the people in this surveillance video, which is also being used in the police investigation.
The world doesn't have to be this way.
The Texas attorney has roots in the Bay Area and says the attack happened while her son and friends were gassing up their rental car. Family and friends had spent the weekend in Sonoma celebrating his 21st birthday.
Out comes 5 different men. They bust the windshield, take all of the luggage, and didn't stop there. They then pulled my son out of the car, started hitting him with the gun.
She met her son in Oakland at the police station.
This is the place, is what I kept being told. You should know better than to gas up in Oakland.
But she says there was no warning this is a dangerous area.
Now that it happened, I'm researching Hagenberger like crazy.
And it doesn't take a deep dive to learn Hagenberger has been taking a hit. In-N-Out Burger announcing the closure of its location because of crime, and now Denny's also closed. And ABC 7 News insider Phil Mateer says there doesn't seem to be any answers in sight.
I haven't heard anything solid coming out of Oakland City Hall yet. I hear some platitudes about we're going to work together, we're trying, we're coming up with different strategies, more beat cops, this, that. But it's the same thing I heard a year ago.
And when asked about Monday's robbery at the 76 gas station, Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao responded with a statement, reading in part, "As mayor, I have prioritized the critical gateway to Oakland and surged police presence and employed technology to deter and respond to criminal behavior. However, more is necessary, and I will be working with regional and state leaders to protect this tourist gateway into Oakland."
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
People are getting hurt. People are getting hurt, and the city of Oakland should be sued by everyone who gets hurt along Eggenberger because they're not doing enough.
They're not. And again, you could put police there, but are you just going to post them up 24/7? No, you don't have enough police. Like Karen's mentioning, still don't have a friggin' police chief, Shang Tao. I'm sorry, I know some things take time, but I want to see arrests daily on Hagenberger. I want to see video. There was one video, and I'm sorry I didn't save it. There was some sort of takedown of somebody by police in Oakland. I don't know if it was on Hagenberger, but again, there needs to be a massive amount of people that hop out of cars and rob these people in broad daylight. There needs to be a cop right there. I am done seeing video of successful robberies. I want to see videos of people trying to rob and then police are right there to nab them. Because until that happens, sorry, Shang Tao, you're not doing enough. The police department is not doing enough. And it's frightening. I am never, and this is what I'm sure many people are saying, I'm never going on Hagenberger Road, right? I'm not going to Oakland. I'm not doing it. And I hate the fact that I have to say that, but that's how I feel. When it's headline after headline after headline of these things happening. John says, I drive through there every time I pick up my girlfriend at the airport. Don't get out of your car. Make sure your doors are locked. Keep your eyes peeled. I mean, they're breaking through the windows. They're beating kids with did they need to beat the kid? Right? They'd already stole all the stuff, but they have to beat the kid too. That's frightening. Would I send my kid if I didn't live in the Bay Area and there was a flight into SFO, SJC, or Oakland? Where am I going? Not Oakland. No, you're not flying into Oakland. There is going to be an economic ripple effect. It's already happened for the city as a whole, simply because when people fly in, they have to go what is turning out to be one of the most dangerous areas of the city. I just don't get it. Brian says, if the mayor doesn't care about all the news around Hagenberger, what the hell is she doing as mayor? Beats me. Saying I'm sending more police officers to this area is not going to, obviously not doing it. John says, yeah, so far I've never had to fill up a rental car there. Don't.
Well, the
Don't
rental
even try
car
it.
companies have told you don't.
Yeah.
So
Don't fill it
I
up
was
there.
surprised that she said I hadn't heard anything, because the rental car companies are all saying, don't stop on Hagenberger.
Exactly.
Denny's on Hagenberger is closing. In-N-Out, as you mentioned, is closing. I mean, businesses are leaving.
Yep.
This is scary. I would say that this is probably one of the most dangerous stretches of road in America.
I mean, it's turning out to be, at least, I don't know what the murder rate is there, but as far as like putting yourself at risk for violent attack and robbery, hell yeah.
How often do you hear this? I would be afraid, honestly, knowing everything we know about Hagenberger Road and how thieves target tourists on this stretch, to even stop at a stoplight or a stop sign there.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, who knows? And they're violent and they want your stuff.
Yeah, and they don't care that it's the middle of the day. You would think, okay, at night, they don't care. Katie says, I won't even drive the Bay Bridge at all. I cross the Golden Gate, take Richmond, San Rafael if I need to go to Northern East Bay. Wow. I mean, but think about that. It's like, I don't even want to worry about it. I will tell you, when I went to Oakland last time, or like in that area in the East Bay, I think about it all the time. Yeah. People shooting you on the freeway. Gas station robberies. Nobody needs, I'll just stay home. And that's awful. That is awful. No. Kevin's like, I'd go to Sacramento Airport before going to Oakland. Well, there's a lot of closer airports. You don't have to go to Sacramento. You can go to San Francisco or San Jose.
Most of the cheaper flights are out of Oakland, interestingly. Yeah. It's a little more expensive to fly out of SFO. We've got a really small airport up here in the North Bay. It's the Charles Schultz International.
Right.
Is it international? I'm not sure.
I don't know if it's international.
It's got Alaska Airlines will fly you up to Oregon. They've got a flight to Palm Springs. They've got a few flights there that you can go, but it's really expensive. That airport, though, when you walk in, it's nice. Like mellow and chill. The lines are short. The security people are friendly. Everything's it's way different. I mean, it's almost worth paying that money just to go out of a small little airport and not have to worry about it. It's very convenient. Yeah.
Yeah, and who was mentioning it? Debbie was saying Oakland is spending their funds trying to change its name, probably because they don't want OAK. They don't want it to tip off people.
Yeah,
flying into. I mean, that's crazy. It is crazy. Now, I don't think they've done it yet, but I do know that they were researching it and they want to change it. But I mean, how pissed would you be?
What do they want to change it to?
Well, according to this article, they're testing other names apparently. The port spokeswoman Marilyn Sandifer told the Chronicle the potential name change is part of an effort to increase awareness of Oakland International and its proximity. It's considering adding different names, asking for direct flights to change its name. The Port of Oakland does not intend to remove the word Oakland from Oakland International Airport. The airport's code would still remain the same, but I think they want to perhaps say Oakland, San Francisco, or East Bay, Oakland, or something to incorporate the fact that it's more than just Oakland. I don't give a crap. If I'm flying in, I want to know that when I get off the plane, I'm in Oakland.
How about change the name to reflect that you better duck and cover on your way out?
No, SOS, right?
Exactly. That's the name right there.
Please help us. I'm telling you, please, please, please. But yeah, so and I feel for the businesses. I feel for the people that live in Oakland. Yeah. It's on one hand, sometimes I will say this. Sometimes when people bitch about the city, the crime in the city, I'm like, you're in the city. I mean, for generations, when you were in this city, it was okay. It's a little tougher. There's more traffic. There's more crime. You got to be, you got to have a stiff spine to live in the city, right? But you don't want to not be able to fill up your gas tank, right? You don't want it to be that bad. Lulu says Oakland is easy to drop off and pick up, but I won't go anymore. And it is. It's not a difficult airport, except it's crazy. It's crazy. Karen says, instead of all that marketing on Oakland Airport, why don't they increase security? Gee, you think? Exactly. Oh, no. Phineas, where are you seeing that? Phineas is saying King Charles has cancer.
Yeah,
dun.
He was in
I hope it's not. Yeah.
He was in the hospital for a prostate issue.
And they found cancer.
He probably was in there to have it removed or whatever. Yeah, he's a prostate. Call it prostate treatment. But yeah.
Oh, well, that's it. Oh, well, hopefully they could treat it. That's never. He will step back from his duties as monarch and head of state while he undergoes treatment. Oh, well, according to Chris Ship, which is the Royal News editor, it's not prostate cancer, but it was found during his prostate operation. So it's not prostate cancer, but it's some sort of cancer. So that's awful. That's terrible. I mean, okay, awful cancer. Can I just say this as part of the whole monarchy thing?
Yeah.
He finally gets to be king, and now he can't be king. You know what I mean? He can't. He's stepping down. That's crazy. That's awful. That is awful. Well, our prayers go out to him. Hopefully it's treatable. So yeah, that's awful.
What happens to Camilla if something happens to him? She gets chucked aside, right?
Yeah, she doesn't get to do
be
anything.
the queen. She has to go away.
And I know you love that because you cannot stand that woman.
I know.
Debbie, back to Oakland. I have no problem driving to and from Oakland Airport. I just don't stop on the way. Well, again, economic ripple effect. Economic ripple effect. If you're not going to stop at the restaurants, you're not going to stay in the hotels. That place is just going to go. Talk about a doom loop. You know what I mean? Talk about a doom loop. That's crazy. That's just. There's another crime that was making news over the weekend. FBI is warning people that online scammers, right, are I guess having that door-to-door service. As they say. So apparently the FBI says scammers are using couriers to steal cash and valuables from people at their homes. So the first part of the scam involves people posing as tech support or government officials. And then they tell the victims that their financial accounts were hacked or at risk of being hacked. Their victims are told to liquidate their assets into cash or buy gold, silver, or other precious metals. The scammers then instruct people to wire funds to a metal dealer who will then ship the precious metals to the victims' homes. Then the couriers meet the people in person to pick up cash or precious metals, and then they are robbed. And oftentimes, as you can expect, these are senior citizens that they're targeting that are just totally being held. So you got to look after your parents, grandparents. Keep your wits about you. Anybody that asks you to liquidate money very quickly, it's usually a scam. So keep your eye out for that.
And it's always tech support,
Yeah, exactly.
Apple's not going to call you and say, there's something wrong with your computer. They're not going to do it.
No, my dad actually last week, he calls me up. He's like, "Did you just wire me $2,000?" And I laughed. I'm like, "No." I was like, "I'm not just giving you $2,000." And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "I got this text message that Nikki Lesser was wiring $2,000." And I was like, "Is there a link?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Don't touch it." And he's like, "I know, never touch it." I'm like, "Don't touch it. Just
don't click it.
Don't
clickety-click.
Dad, if I'm going to send you $2,000, you're getting a heads up that I'm sending you $2,000. I mean, there's no, look, surprise my dad. No, that's not happening. But again, I don't click anything and nothing. Don't click anything. It's hard enough for me, when people or interview people send me links to videos or, watch this, watch that. I'm like, oh no, not doing that. But yeah, it's very much a target. And because the senior citizen population is so huge and they have money, they have retirements, they have homes, they have places where they can get money. They're easy pickings if they're not technologically savvy enough to see through the BS, right? Yeah. So you just want to be careful. You don't want to be caught or have your parent or your grandparent caught into doing something like that. But there's a lot of people saying, because of the economy, you should be buying gold or you should be buying this, that, and the other. Now, if you want to buy gold, that's fine. If you have a financial advisor that's advising you and is telling you to diversify your portfolio, fine. But don't take it from some random phone call from somebody on the phone. That is just not smart. So just be aware of it.
I think also this happened to my mom where the Apple tech people called her, right? And then she believed that there was some issue and they ended up sitting down at the computer and they wanted access to her computer to find out what was wrong. And then we had to scrub the whole thing, make sure that we changed all of her passwords.
I would have been my son-in-law can handle it. Thanks though. Bye. Like how are you next door and she's still on the phone with these people?
I'm telling you, they got 2 or 3 gift cards that they had purchased from her Amazon account.
Right.
Like that's what they went in and did when they got access to her computer. But the worst problem, I would say, from all that is she was so embarrassed and humiliated and felt like awful about what had happened and doesn't want to talk about it because she feels so stupid and it makes her feel old, and God forbid my mother should feel old. But it's like these are the moments where you kind of you take away someone's, you know, I don't know, pride in themselves or whatever.
And that's
you
why
make
they
them
don't
feel
report
like
it.
They
Yes.
can't handle life or something. And it really kind of dented her self-confidence, I would say.
Well, also it does that, and then people don't want to admit it, and so it's probably a bigger problem than people even know because you're like, well, they got me, and I'm not going to say anything. I remember years ago, a good friend of mine who's actually computer savvy, got scammed with the whole I'm selling a radio, for instance, and somebody wants to buy it, and they paid you extra money for shipping. And then you ship the thing off, and then when you cash the check, you realize it's bogus, and so you're out the money on the radio. It was something like that, and I was like, "That's the oldest scam in the book. How did you fall for that?" And you feel bad for kind of scolding them, but at the same time, we report on this so often.
I know
that you're like, "How did you fall for this?" But again, it's William, you hear that gold S on AM radio. Goddamn fear mongers. Gold is an investment. I mean, I know people that invest in gold, but you're not going to put all your money in gold. I mean, come on now. Like, it's okay if you want to. Beth says it's not worth it, though. You're trapped into selling the bars back to who you bought them from unless you're a jeweler. Avoid that. And people want to invest in gold. Invest in gold as long as you're not breaking the bank. Don't take financial advice from me, but I do know that some people, they use that as part of their portfolio. And if you have a guy or a girl that's advising you on that, knock yourself out. But
was it the gold bars they were selling at Costco like sold out? It was the
like
biggest seller or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, we didn't get any of those, but
no, we didn't get any of those either.
If you want to, fine, but don't put all of your. I always say this, like, I understand gold, but for me, if the world goes to hell in a handbasket, I can't eat gold. It's nothing like that. I don't know what I'm going to do with my gold bars if everybody doesn't have money. You know what I mean? Like, I have a gold bar. No one's going to pay me for that. But if you like it and you want to do it, knock yourself out. Just talk to the experts. Don't talk to some rando on the phone. Okay, let's do a few more headlines because then I want to switch gears completely. Okay. And I want to talk about this viral note, okay, that was left for a babysitter. I don't know if you saw it, but this woman is having this young lady come over and watch her kids, okay, and leaves the babysitter a note that says, you can basically sit here after the kids are, in bed and watch TV and hang out. Or here are a list of other chores you could do around my house with a dollar amount. Now, some people think that this is a good idea. Other people are saying she's not your slave. She was hired to watch your kids, and that's all you should do. So I'll tell you how the girl reacted. But you tell me, should you or would you actually offer up other jobs to a babysitter inside your house? And should more people be doing something like this? So I'll read the note after Kim's news. I'll let you know what the girl decided, because right now the economy is tough. I don't know if you saw, like, credit card outstanding balances for credit cards are insane right now. People are just letting them go. There's one TikToker, I'll try to bring up the video, that's like, you know what? You could just send it to collections. I ain't paying that bill. Ooh. That's the mentality of people nowadays. So would you do the extra money? Would you not? Would you even write the note, or would you be embarrassed? Let me know in the comments. Also, click the thumbs up button. Show your support for the show. We really do appreciate every single dollar that we get on this show and appreciate you guys so much. And here's Kim with some more headlines.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
I'm telling you, this big storm is causing havoc around the Bay Area and much of California. Here's what we know, that there are dangerous conditions expected in Orange County and San Diego through at least tomorrow. This is a big, big problem. 8 Southern California counties have been placed under a state of emergency with the risk of flooding and high winds. The National Weather Service called Sunday one of the most dramatic weather days in recent memory. Nearly 600,000 power customers, were without power across the state on last check. Here in the Bay Area, that number's down to 200,000.
Now, you said you didn't really lose power, right?
Mm-mm.
Now, I think I saw you post on are your power lines underground?
They are.
They are. I think I saw you had posted on one of our mutual friends things. See, that's genius. Now, who's wondering where PG&E is in all of this, right?
Yeah.
As they see these friggin' lines, these are the ones that are at risk. Are these the ones you're leading with and burying? Probably not. So
I had taken a picture of a double rainbow a few days ago.
Yes,
when
that
it
was a
rained.
good picture.
Thank you. It was so bright and vivid. And someone made the comment, yeah, I see you don't have a lot of power lines in your picture. And I'm like, yeah, they're underground. They have been for years. Not so just a couple blocks away in a different neighborhood.
Yeah.
They're still above ground, and maybe that's why the power didn't go out. You can't blow the lines down.
Exactly.
Right?
That's exactly why. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine if there's other type of issues, let's say a mudslide and they need to get to the power lines under the ground, that brings up a problem. But I still think it's safer for them to be underground.
When you talk about power outages across the state, we have the northern half of the state hit the hardest from yesterday's intense winds. Santa Clara County, though, had the most outages. That is where San Jose declared its own emergency, ordering homeless people to leave the area near the rivers, telling others they may have to leave if it floods. Police were down there using loudspeakers, warning everyone, get to higher ground. Crews all over will be busier than ever, cleaning the trail of damage from all of that. Much of it is downed trees. One blamed for taking a life of an 82-year-old man in Yuba City when those trees came down.
I mean, and again, there's so many stories like that where you got out of the car a split second or you didn't, and it's dangerous. So when they say stay inside and try to, do some of the tree trimming during other parts of the year, that's why they want all of these sorts of things.
So the latest is that the National Weather Service is now designating this storm a bomb cyclone.
Ooh, I like that name.
Yeah, it's very
bomb cyclone. Okay.
There's high drama in the bomb cyclone category, but that is the new designation for this storm. I don't know why they didn't know ahead of time that it was a bomb cyclone. Maybe it has to do a certain amount of damage or something before. Here's a tree that came down, and this, I mean, big
look how big that is. Big
old trees. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the bomb cyclone designation, here it is. The upgraded by the National Weather Service due to its intensity and capacity for destruction, is what they say. So experts say the drop in atmospheric pressure from San Francisco to Los Angeles yesterday may have actually been historic. Governor Gavin Newsom has not taken any chances. He says he's got 8,500 boots on the ground for emergency response. Many will be focused on this dire situation unfolding outside Los Angeles. Several damaging landslides are predicted today from Santa Monica Mountains to the Hollywood Hills area.
Yeah.
Of course, mostly in those burn scars, but also in areas that are just, it's been dry and then all of a sudden they get inundated and the land just comes flying down.
Right. John says my friend's car in Santa Cruz got munched by a redwood tree. And my old boss in Sacramento, she was saying her house, there's a giant redwood right next to it. And she's like, so many people got these little, seedling redwood trees from like fairs years ago, planted them. And now we have all these freaking redwoods everywhere. And it's scary if it gets waterlogged and that thing can fall on your house. There's one right across the street from my parents' house. It's huge. And I always look at that tree and I'm like, I don't even know what happened if it fell.
That thing's coming down.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. And just the sheer number of trees that come down in a storm like this.
Yeah.
And we have a friend who had a tree come down a couple of years ago on her house in Marin.
Oh, damn.
And it has been a really long road for her. It took more than a year for the landlords to get the house fixed. And she's been shuffled from friend's couch to friend's couch. She did have renter's insurance, so she was able to stay in a little apartment for a while.
Yeah.
But it's been hard. You know, you don't realize how, I don't know, how hard it is for your psyche not to have your space, your home space.
Exactly. And also, if a tree falls on your house or your car, that is a trauma that I don't think you get out of your mind. Like the next time there's a big storm or high winds, you're going to be like, that could happen. And that's frightening. It really is frightening.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, so the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he is going to bring a long-awaited bipartisan border deal to the floor this week to secure the U.S.-Mexico border and to provide aid to Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
Really? Okay. The bill comes with a price tag of about $118 billion with a B and provides aid to Israel and Ukraine as well as other foreign policy priorities. About $20 billion would be earmarked to securing the border.
Okay. I was wondering about that. Okay. Well,
the Supreme Court will be hearing arguments on Thursday about whether former President Trump should be removed from Colorado's primary ballot. It is a case which will have implications for other similar efforts around the country. The argument to keep Trump off the ballot is that he violated the Constitution by committing the insurrection on January 6th, 2021.
Okay, put your bets. What do you think?
I think the Supreme Court, I mean, it seems so simple to me.
Yeah.
It seems like, well, there's two issues here, right? Number one, did he whip up the insurrection? And number two, does this particular clause of the Constitution apply to the role of president? Is president an officer of the United States?
Is he elected by the people? Yes. Is he elected by the people? Yes.
Is it a matter of semantics?
Yes. And
it
pisses me off.
I mean, it seems to me a rule like any other, like your age, like where you're born. These are constitutional rules that we have. And so it seems like that to me. But he's the conservative majority on the court that took away Roe v. Wade. I don't trust them anymore, ever, to do what's right.
I don't either. And again, if we're going to break it down into semantics, presidents take an oath to uphold the Constitution. If he has violated it, then he has disqualified himself from being president of the United States.
Period. End of story.
That's it. That's it. Sorry, you did it. Bye.
And we seem like a stupid country.
Yes.
If we can't protect ourselves from within.
Yes. So freaking stupid. I mean, it's who was it? JD Vance was on with George Stephanopoulos, and George Stephanopoulos ended the interview, I guess, very abruptly because JD Vance was like, no. But he was basically saying, that the president doesn't have to listen to the U.S. Supreme Court, and it's like,
crazy.
Wait, what? You're insane.
Yeah.
They are, and they don't even realize what they're saying. I feel like anything to defend and protect their dear leader. It is crazy.
Yeah, Stephanopoulos just shut it off and said, that's it.
He's like, no.
You can't come on here and say that stupid stuff. No.
I don't know why, but I will say this about George Stephanopoulos. You should have never had the ass hat on your show to begin with. Who the F is JD Vance? We already know he's badass crazy. Why are you bringing him on? Obviously, it's for clicks and for views and for crap like that. It's, we have to stop. And again, this is the problem with, I will say, media, is that it's so dependent on clicks, likes, views, or it doesn't exist anymore. Now you bring these wackadoos on to get the eyeballs, but then you legitimize them because they're on your friggin' TV.
Actually,
so it's crazy.
Did you hear about this one? Yeah. Boeing is taking a second look at 50 undelivered 737 MAX jets to fix some problems. Some of the planes were apparently found to have misdrilled holes on their fuselages. Yeah.
I don't know I don't know the skill it takes, but can we, you're supposed to measure twice and cut or drill once. So can we check and double check for things that are going so high in the sky with bodies on it? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I mean, you would think that after everything, but no, we still have some issues with the planes. It does not inspire confidence.
No,
I'm telling you.
No, it does not.
Soccer fans throughout California gearing up. The home of the San Francisco 49ers will host 6 2026 World Cup games, while SoFi Stadium in Inglewood will host 8.
Yeah.
So, that's
It's
not
gonna
too
be
bad,
huge.
right?
I mean, that year, it's 2026, right? So that's
Mhm.
also the year that we're getting the Super Bowl. So it's gonna be nuts. Nuts.
We're going to have a little
Nuts,
bigger
nuts,
sign there,
nuts. People will be able to see it no matter where.
Exactly.
And
So
I get it.
this includes the men's team opener will be at Levi's. They'll return for a group stage match 2 weeks later. Officials revealed the news yesterday. The Los Angeles area has already hosted 3 World Cup finals. This is a big deal for Santa Clara.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and again, can we handle it? Will we handle it? I hope so. Traffic can often be a mess. I wouldn't want to work on Great America Parkway, which is, where Levi Stadium is. That's crazy congested all of the time. But hopefully between now and then, all the kinks will get worked out and we can get some smooth action over there. But yeah, it's great. It's being on the international stage like that. And even though obviously football versus football, soccer, as we call it, you know what I mean, is they're both popular, but I will say soccer is way more popular internationally. And so this is going to be great for us. Absolutely.
Do your kids play soccer?
Marley played, but then COVID happened, and so she lost her drive for it. She liked it when she played it. And then Dylan tried all sports, and I put him in all kinds of camps. My dill bug is not athletic, so no, they did not.
Yeah, my kids both played when they were littler.
Yeah.
Now they don't. Jacob says basketball is his sport.
There
so
you
we'll
go.
see how he does with
I
it.
mean, with
He
as
did
tall
get
as
the-
he's growing, shoot.
He
hell yeah.
did get the game ball over the weekend. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
His coach bought these little balls, like these little, like maybe half the size of a regular basketball.
Right.
And during the game, he'll pick out the kid he wants to give the game ball to, and he writes why he gave it to them.
I love that.
And
I
so
love that.
Jacob got the first game ball, and I swear you would have thought it was made of gold. He was so excited.
That is so awesome.
Telling you.
Just the little things, they matter so much.
It really does. Lastly, this is a, big deal for Super Bowl fans, I guess, some of whom are as excited about all the commercials on Super Bowl Sunday as anything else. But actor Christopher Walken is starring in a Super Bowl ad this weekend. He's in a new ad for the BMW 5 Series. Look at him. He looks really happy. Talking like Walken spotlights people in various scenarios who run into Walken and instantly try to mimic his voice. The ad also has a cameo of Usher, who's performing during the Super Bowl halftime show. So watch for that one. It's the Christopher Walken BMW ad.
That's
supposed to be funny, and I bet a lot of people will be talking about that.
It's people are saying that Usher's getting upstage and is going to be upstaged by Taylor Swift if she shows up at the Super Bowl. I don't know if she's going to be there again. She's going to be in Tokyo the night before.
That's a long haul, right?
I mean, I just would say don't go. If I was giving advice to Taylor Swift, I'd say just don't go. It's a distraction. Yes, it's a huge moment for your man. You know what I mean? But you got your job to do. He has his job to do, and I don't know.
But you want to be there to support your loved one.
Yeah,
This is a big deal.
Tokyo. I mean, it's not like she's around the corner. That is insane. Now it's the end of it's the last concert she's doing in Tokyo. So you could see how she might be able to make it work. And I don't know where she goes after that. But again, seriously. I would just get a good night's sleep. Celebrate with your team. I don't know. Watch it on the TV in Tokyo. Or wherever. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if she makes it, though. I don't know if she's going to.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, maybe you would have thought he would have gotten special permission, given the fact that her association with him has brought the NFL $331 million to attend last night's Grammys. It's a week before the Super Bowl.
No. You do. If I was Andy Reid, the coach of the Chiefs, there's no effing way, Travis Kelce, you are going to the Grammys when we're supposed to be practicing in Vegas for the Super Bowl. No way.
One night, really, the night they're supposed to arrive, it would have been, think of the free publicity for the Kansas City Chiefs.
They don't need any more.
PR, well worth it for him to show up there.
No, because you know what happens, Kim?
That was a mistake.
If they lose, they'll blame her and him going on the Grammys. It doesn't matter if they practiced or not. It was a distraction. His head wasn't in the game.
It's a whole week before.
Do you have any idea how superstitious people are? Do you have any idea that if your mind is not completely on the Super Bowl, they will take any reason to blame you for the loss? No effing way is Travis Kelce good. No. I mean, if you were like the kicker or somebody, you're Travis freaking Kelce. You are not going to the Grammys when you're supposed to be with your team in Vegas for the Super Bowl.
You football people are cray-cray.
Hands down. Hands down. Yes, absolutely. Oh, wait, I wanted to read this one. Randy says Taylor Swift will be at the Super Bowl. I'm sure there are a slew of bets being taken on Taylor's. Oh, absolutely. How many times she's shown on screen.
Yeah.
Whether she shows up. I should take that bet. I should be like, I don't think she's going to show up. I should just bet against it.
I wonder if that's a bet you could make.
Oh,
at
I'm
the
sure.
sports
Oh,
book.
you can bet on everything, Kim. You can
yeah.
bet on everything at the Super Bowl. You can bet like the coin toss, so many different things, ridiculous things. I'll get a list of them this week. We'll go over them. There's so many ridiculous bets you could do.
Have you seen the memes saying congratulations to Taylor Swift making it to the Super Bowl in her rookie year?
Yeah, exactly. Go sports ball. Yeah, no, it's really, really funny. Oh, you can't bet in California. I tried last weekend. Ironic considering how hard California is. You could figure it out. You can go to Tahoe and place bets. I'm almost positive you can. No, oh, well, you can go across to Nevada. I guess that's how you do it, right? So,
yeah, but you can't. But you can't do it from here unless you have some kind of booking, right?
Yeah, you got to get a VPN. You can make a phone call. I'm pretty sure they'll take your money any which way you want to. I'm almost positive that you can bet. DraftKings, oh look, Anonymous, you're trying. All right, well, I'll do some research, see if I can place a bet. I'd like to. I'll call somebody. I know some people in Nevada.
Road trip to Tahoe, woohoo!
Exactly.
This report is sponsored by you. Please help us fuel our gambling addiction here on the Nikki Medoro Show. Find us at thenikkimedoroshow.com, thenikkimedoroshow.com. The Patreon and PayPal links are there. The Super Chat and Super Stickers are live here on YouTube. And thanks for hanging out with us this morning and being part of the action.
Absolutely.
I'm Kim McAllister. This is the Nikki Medoro Show.
All right. Speaking of money, what would you do for money? I mean, I wouldn't put my feet in pudding. Sorry. But there are some extra ways of making money. The whole hustle culture that's, prevalent in this generation. So this science teacher in Missouri by the name of Katrina Ivan put on TikTok this experiment that she had with her babysitter. She says, "This is the note. I'm leaving my babysitter tonight." And it reads this. It says, "You are more than welcome to hang out and watch TV all night. But if you want to make some extra money, these jobs are up for grabs. $10 to organize the island, $10 to organize the toys, $10 to clean the glass and mirrors. There's 2 bathroom mirrors, front and back door, living room mirror, living room window. $3 to vacuum the couch, $10 to scrub and reorganize the silverware drawer, $15 to scrub out the inside of the fridge and reorganize the food and wipe off the front, $10 to sweep and mop the kitchen floor. Just let me know if you decided to do any of these and the ground total I owe you on top of the babysitting money. Thanks for being here." What do you think? And she leaves out all of the cleansers and everything like that. So the babysitter doesn't have to, do anything. She says, "I'm a working mom and some of the important things have been let go for too long in the past few weeks. The clutter is making me stressed. I was going to stay home to clean, but I could use a date night. So this seemed like a good compromise." First off, let me ask this question. As a mom, would you leave a note like this to your babysitter?
I love the idea of this note. I would, leave this note, but I've always been taught with babysitting that you should do some light cleaning. So as a babysitter, I would be stoked to go, oh, not only am I going to get paid for babysitting, but I'm also going to get paid on top of that to do the things I was planning to do anyway, like, do their dishes or wipe down their counters or.
No, I clean up. When I babysat, I cleaned up the mess I made or the kid made, right? Like if we're playing with toys, I pick up the toys. If I make something for them to eat, I clean up what I ate. I'm not a housekeeper. I'm not cleaning the house.
But if the floor, even when you arrived was covered with toys, and after you put the kids kids to bed,
Right.
I would pick up
Yes,
the floor, and
I would do that
if
too.
their dinner dishes were left in the sink, I would do the dinner dishes, right, and wipe down the counter so that it looked better when they got home. They didn't
Yeah.
have to stay up doing dishes when they got home. All those things.
What do you think about the prices that she's paying, though? Do you think it's enough?
I think $3 to vacuum the couch was low. $15 to clean out the fridge. That's pretty good. And when you consider that it's probably teenagers that she's hiring to babysit,
True.
I would assume.
Right.
You know, I mean, that could be some good money for Julia. You could walk away with 50 extra bucks for cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's great.
So
What a
when the
great
woman,
opportunity.
the woman and her husband returned home, their 3-year-old son's babysitter had completed nearly all the tasks. She was like,
Yeah.
heck yeah, and got to work right away. She's, again, left all the supplies out for her. According to Ivan, the rate she offered her babysitter, who's a senior in high school, are standard because the cost of living in Missouri is pretty cheap.
Mhm.
You know, and I would also say this: she didn't have to do all. She could pick and choose. Like, I don't want to
Right.
clean the fridge, perhaps, but I'll vacuum the couch or
Right.
whatever. This is the other thing that got me, though. I do feel like there might, and I'm not saying this, but I feel like there might be a bit of pressure to do them. What if I didn't want to do any of it? Maybe I had some studying to do when the kid was in bed.
Well, then you explain. I love that you offered me the chance to make
Right.
some extra money. I have a huge test tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
I
I
gotta
really had
study.
to study, but next time, please do the same thing because I would love to do that for you.
Yeah, Blue Spark
Right?
says if the babysitter has any gumption, she'd
Mhm.
fully take advantage of the offer. These are the kinds of kids that do well
Yep.
later in life. I totally would have done every single one for an extra
Yeah.
amount of money,
Yeah.
especially if it was a date night and the kid, 3 years old, going to
Oh,
bed.
no.
Somebody had mentioned earlier in the comments, though, I would worry that they were too busy doing that to not be listening for my kid. Like, what if you're vacuuming and the kid's upstairs choking? You know what I mean? Like, are you
No, I'm
fully
sure that-
engaged?
yeah.
Heather says the only thing I take issue with is the wording, you can watch TV the whole time if you want, but it kind of seems like guilting the sitter into doing it.
Oh.
I mean, I guess she didn't have to say watch TV, but that's usually what babysitters do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that that's uncommon, but kind of like, yeah, you could just sit here and I'm paying you and you're literally doing nothing, or you can make some extra money. You know, it's better than saying, hey, I'm not paying you any extra money. And by the way, can you do these things for me? Right? It's like, well, wait a minute. Blue Spark. Now she cleans out the medicine cabinet without being asked. Exactly. I don't know.
I mean, I'd open the refrigerator door, and if it looks like that's not a $15 job, if it's like slimy in there,
Yeah,
and there's
exactly.
moldy things, I'm
What if it's
close the door
gross?
slowly and walk away.
You're like, yeah, and I'm not doing that at all. But again, I feel like nowadays, and I mentioned this before, the number of people letting their credit cards just rack up,
Yeah.
they were saying that right now, the average credit card bill is like $5,000. And
Yeah.
if you only pay the minimum, it'll take you 20 years to pay it off
Holy cow.
because of where interest rates are and even though, you know, all that sort of stuff.
I
So
think about that if I charge something. I think I've got to pay this off because
Yes.
imagine how much I think it is, right? And how much it really costs once you're looking at how much interest you paid on your credit card.
Exactly.
So you think you're buying a $50 pair of basketball shoes, but really those shoes just cost you $300
exactly
because of all the interest
and
over
all
time.
the interest.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I have that like nightmare in my head because I wasn't always such a good budgeter, right? And in college, I was terrible with the money. And it took me a long time to get out of credit card debt. And now it's like, if I
Yeah.
know I can't pay off my credit card at the end of the month, and again, I have one, my Southwest card,
Mhm.
and the kids' stuff's on it because I know I'm going to pay it every month no matter what.
Mhm.
If I can't, I just don't buy it. Like, I really want a new couch. I've mentioned this so many times. I want a new couch. And so my husband and I are just discussing, like, okay, let's try to save up X amount of dollars for
Right.
the next couple of months. And then we go buy the couch. It's really easy to see these President Day sales,
Yeah.
0 APR, 0 interest for 3 years, whatever. But unless you pay it off in 3 years and you're that
Mhm.
focused, right? Like you're that disciplined. At the end of that, all of that interest you're going to have to pay on top of what you paid for the couch. And it sucks. But there is a mentality, and I'm going to show you this video, and I'll stop it if it's too low. So you guys let me know because I know some of these videos aren't very loud. But this is the mentality of a lot of people right now when it comes to credit card debt.
With a normal job in this shit ass economy that can't afford anything these days except your bare necessities, then you've slacked on paying some of your bills. And that's okay. This is a no judgment zone because I haven't paid all my bills either. And I'm really slacking, especially on my credit card bills. And I'm going to keep it real. I don't give a shit about shit I bought last year or 6 months ago or when I swiped the credit card. I don't fucking care. Thanks for letting me have that stuff. I don't have the money to pay you back right now.
Can you imagine?
So I used to be really religious with this. Like I would send a set amount of money each month and just auto pay the credit card so it would keep my balance down, so that I didn't fall behind. Well, about 7 months ago, I took it off auto pay. And for about 6 months religiously now, like every day, multiple times a day, they're calling to get their money. We all got a job to do. And I know that you're tired of dialing my fucking number and I'm not picking up the phone. Mm-hmm. So I accidentally answered one of their calls in the car the other day.
Accidentally.
Oopsies.
I love that.
My phone. So if you hit a button on the steering wheel, then it automatically answers. And it was Teresa from, Credit One or Capital, one of those that I have.
She can't keep track.
And I'm calling for Brandy and from the credit card service. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to answer this phone call.
Too late. You answered.
I don't have your money. That's why I don't answer the phone or the emails that you sent me. And this bitch, she goes, well, we're like 2 steps away from sending you to collections. And that's really going to affect your credit. Teresa, do you not know that also not paying your credit card bill plummets your fucking credit? You might as well take my credit score out back and fucking put it out of its misery, Teresa. Do you also realize that right now my credit score means absolute fuck all nothing to me? Like, do I look like I'm buying a house? Do I look like I'm buying a car? Does it look like I can afford to buy anything ever again? Teresa, I'm going to save us both the time here. Just send it to collections now, because between now and next month, when you keep trying to call me, nothing's going to change. Nothing. So sorry about that, but thanks for all the stuff I bought on the credit card. I don't know what to tell you. And it's going to sit in collections too.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like.
And so that's the mentality. Wow. And I could never be like that. And I sure as hell can't put out a TikTok video that has gone viral admitting that I am just terrible. Now again, the credit card companies, am I sympathizing with them? No. But is this a mentality I want to spread? No. That's not what you want to do. You don't just buy things on credit. And I know people do this. They get as many credit cards as they can, and then they just go wild. And they just have all this stuff and they don't care. I'll go bankrupt.
You have that weighing on you forever.
Awful. Yeah, I know people that have filed for bankruptcy, and some of it has to do with they got a divorce, right? Yeah. Or something, or they lost their job. And I understand that these things happen. And I'm not, listen, we had an ex-president that lives off claiming bankruptcy for his businesses. If they can do it, you can do it. So I don't want to shame people if they need to file for bankruptcy, but knowingly doing this and not caring about your credit, and that's just not smart. It just really isn't. And you're just going to screw yourself. I mean, I like the fact that I'm not a huge credit card person, and it's not like I care about my credit score, but I don't want it to be F-all. I don't want it to, and I have a great credit score, but I don't also charge things. So
she probably got herself into a point where there's no way she can get herself out of it. So at this point,
right.
But then she's never going to be able to climb out of it either.
Yes.
If you don't have good credit, you can't get a mortgage, you can't build an equity, you can't ever get yourself to the point where if you did get yourself in trouble, you could get yourself out of it.
Right?
Exactly. I don't
know.
know.
Louise has a great point. People's priorities are whack these days. Pay $100 for a stupid Stanley Cup, $8,000 for 2 Taylor Swift tickets for a 3-hour show. Same people claim they don't have money for the basics. No sympathy. Exactly. It's this YOLO mentality, right? Like, I only live once. Screw it. The planet's burning. Politics are crap. I'm just going to rack up all this credit card debt. The problem is things will turn around, right? Yeah. And then you're going to be stuck in all this credit card debt. William says, I've been where she is. F that noise. I'm not going down that path again if I have any say in the matter.
Yeah.
Because I remember during the Great Recession, so many people were losing their homes and going into bankruptcy, and that people were more understanding if you had a bankruptcy
people were
or
just
something,
walking away from homes, right?
They're like,
walking away from mortgages. Like, I can't afford that. I'm going to turn around and walk away from the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I know, And Steve, you make an excellent point. Parents should teach their kids about how credit works at a young age. I try and have age appropriate conversations with my kids about this all the time. They're at an age now where they could do math, right? So it's not like I have to dumb it down too much. But the basic question is, why do you want to pay more for something that you already own? That's what you're doing. I bought this and I'm going to be paying it off with interest for how many freaking years?
That's right.
And now it costs so much more money. Why? If you can't afford it now, what's going to change 6 months from now that you're going to all of a sudden have more money? Now, I understand if you're going to get a windfall of money that you know is coming. All right. Like I know in 6 months, so something's going to hit for me. Maybe I'm getting an inheritance or something like that. And you want to plan to buy something, possibly. But I'd wait till the money's in your bank account because it ain't yours yet. So just don't buy things unless you could afford it in that moment. I love paying for things outright. I don't want to do 3 years, no interest on a couch. I'd rather just pay for the couch and not have a bill every month for the next 3 years. That's what I like. I like all my money to be mine. It's out of my account. I've paid for it. Everything else that goes into my account is my money. And I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's hard to live like that, though, sometimes.
Are you going to buy we might have already talked about this. Are you going to buy a third car for your family when Marley starts driving?
So I'm probably going to share the car. Yeah. I had mentioned my mom has a car, too. If we buy a car, it's going to be my car or my husband's car. My kid ain't going to get it. They're going to get whatever hand-me-down car we have after that. But no, I mean, my husband drives a company van for work. Right. So his truck is really just kind of a city commuter type thing. And if we go camping. Right. And then my car, I mean, I have 145,000 miles on my car because of going to San Francisco. I take care of my car. You know what I mean? Like it's well done. Are you kidding me? These better not be the landscapers that are here in this.
Oh, Nugget. You would think Nugget's a big dog the way he barks.
Oh, dude, I love it. Yeah. I love him. It's really, really. Nikki's finally getting that Bentley. No, I probably will get another hybrid if you want to know the truth. Yeah. I will probably, we talked about that about the electric vehicles and things like that. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'll probably get another hybrid. I love my hybrid. Ugly car. Not turning any heads in my Prius, but I like it. You know what I mean? I like the gas mileage. The landscapers have it. I apologize.
Excuse me. Didn't even have time to push the mute button. Woohoo! Huge thank you to. Oh, sorry.
No, put it up there. Thank you, Roz, for the $10.
Between me and Nugget, we're like a cacophony of noise. Roz with the couch fund. Woohoo! Thank you, Roz. What a nice thing to do. A $10 super sticker from Roz. We appreciate that as Nugget is getting his comeuppance over there.
I'm trying to yell at him. Like, stop barking, dog. I love him to death. Thank you, Roz. Yeah. Let's do a couple more since we're doing them. $20 from Eileen. Thank you. And Karen for another $20 fast car. Thank you, guys. Honestly, can I just take a moment and say that we love doing this show?
We really do.
And we're 100% crowdfunded. And so, we really are trying to make this work and bring in money. And I hate begging for money. I really, really do, you guys, but we need it and we need more of it. And so on that note, I do want to bring it up, and I didn't bring it up while you were doing your news, but I am. We are going to do a raffle. Yay! So, and this is going to fundraise for the show. And I really want to say thank you to Kay, who is donating this. And it's perfect because the Super Bowl is coming up and obviously the 49ers are in the Super Bowl. So here's some pictures. I'm going to show you. This is, hold on, let me show the front of it first. This friggin' dog. Hold on. She is offering up this cooler to us to raffle off. And it's pretty freaking cool. So there it is. You guys see it right there. It's a 49er one. And thank you to Kay for donating it. She has some more pictures. Hold on. I'm going to bring it here. Hold on. So there's the inside. It's pretty deep. It's like the suitcase where you can kind of roll it around. There's the top. It's brand spanking new. And it has the tags on it and everything. So we're going to do a raffle to raffle this off. I'm going to set up a, hold on, Heather. I'm using my credit card for this, but I promise I'll pay the bill. Thank you, Heather, for the $10 donation. So thank you, Kay, so much for doing it. So we're going to do it the same way that we did the box of my favorite things. We're going to do it through PayPal. I need you guys to buy as many raffle tickets as you want. And we're going to do the drawing this Thursday. Okay. So we have only a few days. Get those raffle tickets in. Go to paypal.com and hit send and then put in this email address. There is a box. And I'm going to make a whole thing and I'll put it on my Facebook page and I'll put it on socials. But I wanted to announce it right now. There's a box to leave a comment. Make sure you put raffle in there because some of you just donate to the show every day, which is awesome. I want you guys to know that this is a raffle. And so you have to put it in. So I'm going to do $10 raffle tickets. You can buy as many as you want for the cooler. And we will choose the winner on Thursday. Okay. Boom. Raffle on. Okay. So buy your ticket. Buy as many as you want. And this is another fundraiser for the show. And of course, you can win that pretty awesome 49er cooler. And hopefully it brings us good luck. So I'll get all the pictures together right after this show. I'll put it on social media. I'll put it on YouTube. And we'll get all of that to go and going. And then we'll do the drawing on Thursday for the winner.
I have something that was sent to me by a listener for just such an occasion.
Oh, okay.
And it is a box of KGO wine glasses.
Ooh,
that she said maybe you can raffle them off. And I wonder if we should add those to this raffle.
I am down to add them to it if you are down to donate them. Absolutely.
Now, do you want to raffle them off separately or do you want to raffle them off like the winner gets both items? Or like you have to...
Maybe we should do first runner-up and second runner-up?
Yeah, because I want someone to get them that actually wants them.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So how about that? So we'll do the big raffles for the cooler. And then the second runner-up will draw again and we'll choose another one. And how many wine glasses are we talking about here?
I think there's 4 in there.
Perfect. So it's perfect for the party.
I'll have to go get them. I think there's 4 in there. Yeah.
Okay, so great. So we'll do 2. That way, if you buy a ticket and you don't win the cooler, you can possibly win the wine glasses. So that'll be great.
wine glasses,
right.
Which are
Send me a picture
Bay Area collector's item, if I can speak anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything with KGO on it is going to be a collector. So absolutely. And hell, you know what? Depending on the age of the person, we could throw in some wine. That's okay. Absolutely. So again, go to paypal.com. You guys have to make sure that you put the raffle in there because I don't want to mix them up. I want to make sure. If you forget, just email me. This is the email as well. Hey, it's my name. I meant to put that in the raffle, but just do it very quickly because it can be a bit of a mess sometimes when we do these raffles and keeping everything organized. So very excited to do this. This is a big fundraiser for the show. Kim will send me a picture of the wine
I will
glasses.
send a picture. We'll get the pictures up tomorrow. Ricky Aubert says we should do 2 different drawings. I don't know.
Well, this is a raffle. I'll do different drawings. I'll do a draw for the cooler, and then I'll do a draw for the wine glasses.
Okay.
Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Well,
or do you want it to be
think people
separate day?
Like Murphy says, people have different interests, so they would then have to enter. You know, if you want to enter for the cooler, then this is your cooler ticket. If you want to enter for the wine glasses, this is your wine glasses ticket. Is that how we should do it?
Oh, Lori says, why don't you let the first winner choose? Oh, what do you think? I don't. Yeah, I mean, literally, Kim just dropped this on me, so I'm
sorry. I should have asked you out off the air, but we live out loud.
Right
yeah.
What do you guys think? It's more. I don't know, Kim. What do you think?
I kind of think that you should have to, and there's 2 separate things going on, because that way you ensure that the person who wins really wants the item they're winning.
Right.
Right.
So do you think that if you
in
send
the
in your
comments,
raffle, you tell me what you want it to go towards?
Right.
That's easy enough.
Yes.
How about that? Okay. So, and I will put all these directions again right after the show. So send me the picture of the glass as soon as you can. So this is what we'll do. When you send in your raffle, say this is the raffle for the cooler, this is the raffle for the wine, or it could be for both, I guess, or just one. You have to choose one.
I think you have to choose one.
You have to choose one. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to choose one, whether you want the cooler or you want the wine glasses.
Yeah.
$10 donation. We'll put it on up there and then we'll do it on Thursday. Okay. So, yeah, see, Trevor wants the glasses. He doesn't want the cooler. So that's perfect. Okay, great. So we'll do it at the same time. Yeah. Please get your raffles tickets in because again, we are 100% crowdfunded, and it's gonna be a good time. So and again, whoever wins the cooler, maybe it's gonna be good luck. But my nanas are going to win. So yeah. And I'm glad that we can do this. I know that sometimes it seems like this show it's our baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And so we really need to do more fundraisers like this. And if you guys have any other ideas of things like that, like Kay reached out and wanted to do this because she loves the show and she wants to help us raise money.
Really
so we're
sweet.
always available to do that, and any other ways that you guys support the show. We do appreciate it. Hold on. Karen writes, beware, Caesar's Palace reneged on 50 of their hotel rooms that people paid for 6 months ago so they can resell for higher money at the Super Bowl. Evidently, it's legal to do this.
Bad business, though.
What?
Mm-mm.
Do not stay at Dirty Palace, is what she calls it. Not a fan. Dirty rooms, bad customer service. Wow. That's kind of bull crap, right?
I agree.
If I paid for my ticket or my room, I'd have a contract with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of booking so early. I don't know who else is going out there. Is anybody else going to the Super Bowl and going to Las Vegas? Because we were talking last week about a number of people just going to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have tickets to the game. They just want to be there. Not me. There's no freaking way I'm going to Vegas.
Why would you put yourself in that zoo?
It's because they want the zoo.
I
honestly, if we're getting the Super Bowl back, God, if we got the Super Bowl back and we're in the Super Bowl, that's just it's just like a bucket item list. You know what I mean? Like I have to do it because I want to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you can get bumped like that, Square. That seems crazy.
It seems like bad business in the future because maybe you make
I would
more
never
money
book that
now,
ever. Yeah.
But who would ever stay there again if they got bumped? No.
Nobody.
You just lost
Nobody
50
would do that.
customers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Exactly. There's something else going on. These people weren't bumped. I just wanted to mention it. If you guys are on TikTok or Instagram or something like that, that 9-month cruise, remember that 9-month cruise that's going on right now? It's Royal Caribbean's Ultimate World Cruise. It kicked off December 10th.
Yeah.
I have been following a bunch of TikTokers that are doing this. It is freaking hilarious. The videos that are being posted by people. Hold on. This woman made me do it. This woman is the woman that made me follow all these TikTokers. I'm just going to show you the funniest freaking video ever. Watch this.
9 months to follow every single person who was on this 9-month cruise with Royal Caribbean.
I would be bumped off this cruise. I'm sorry.
Like, can you imagine eating cruise ship food for 9 months? At first, it may seem cool. But after a while, I don't know if I can handle it because I was on a cruise for 7 days and I was over it. So 9 months is pushing it. Everyone on board has access to unlimited alcohol.
Unlimited alcohol.
Unlimited alcohol for 9 months. That's insane. 700 people on one cruise ship for 9 months. Can you imagine the type of drama what happened on that boat? Why do you think I'm following everybody? If something big goes down, I want to hear from different people, different angles, perspectives. Come on now. The relationships that are going to be forming, the jealousy, friendships. Like, I want to see all of it. 700 people in the middle of the ocean. This is basically a community, a small town.
Yep.
Everybody about to get to know everybody.
Yep.
But then I also think about the cruise ship, like the boats. Hoping that everything goes smoothly, no technical difficulties. Like, I have so many thoughts. I'm stressed. I'm excited. I'm nervous. It kind of feels like a social experiment. Because, like, why would you want to be on the water for 9 months?
Nope.
5 to 7 days on the water?
Nope.
Cool. 9 months? Absolutely not.
Nope.
But what are y'all thoughts? Could you do it?
No, I could not do it.
For-
I could not do it.
No.
I could not do it at all, but I am watching it. So things I would spend money on. I'd go to the Super Bowl here if it was in Santa Clara and the Niners played. I would not go to Vegas if I did not have tickets to the Super Bowl. And I would not pay money to be with 700 people on a 9-month cruise. That's just not happening. Big Brother on a boat or real. Yeah. Do you know the affairs that are going to happen? I bet there's going to be a murder. Someone's going to get murdered. Someone's going to get thrown from the boat. Yeah, no, I can't. And if you just look up like Ultimate World Cruise onto your social media platforms and you can start following some of these people, they went like through Antarctica or something and they had to reroute because of the swells. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's quite entertaining. So do it.
I remember Murphy worked on a cruise ship.
Yes.
She said after a while, we put mini fridges and microwaves in our cabin closets. Shh.
Exactly. I'm telling you, someone's getting thrown from that boat. I'm sorry. Somebody's gonna be sleeping with somebody's spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, and you definitely know someone's coming back pregnant. Absolutely.
Yep.
That's small. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I could not do it at all. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so very much for being here. Of course, stay Mark Thompson, and then the after party with Kim and John. And please get in your raffle tickets for either the cooler or the KGO wine glasses. I will make a whole kind of thing with all the directions, but basically go to PayPal just like last time, paypal.com. Send it to the Nikki Medoro Show at gmail.com and put in the comments whether you want the wine glasses or the cooler. And the drawing is this Thursday. We want to do it before the Super Bowl. So this Thursday is the drawing, and you can either win the wine glasses, which are, that's some memorabilia right there.
That's
KGO
right.
doesn't even exist anymore. Or the cooler for my Niners, which I really like. I really like it. So it's a really cool cooler. Also, click the thumbs up button. Make sure you have subscribed to the show. Thank you to Eileen. Thank you to Karen, both with $20. Roz came in with a $10 super sticker. Kennedy charging that $10, but she's going to pay off that bill. I love you guys so very much. And again, another way to support the show, if you have no interest in the raffle, is to become a monthly Patreon subscriber. Please support this show. We can't do it without you. Go to thenikkimedoroshow.com, click the Patreon link, and sign up right there. All right. Love you guys. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.